4 feet long.
Looks like it's just open.
Okay, we're back into our work session. We have our borough administrator topics next on the agenda. Number one is T-card policies and procedures. Mr. Negri.
Thank you, Mayor. We've put together a draft of the policies and procedures for procurement cards. We have a draft resolution for October 7th if the mayor and council approve these procedures. The procedures were based on the Township of Livingston procedures which mirror the rules and regulations of the State of New Jersey Division of Local Government Services. They have new rules that came out June of this year. In addition, the bank which provides the card has gone through a transition. Bank of America is the new vendor, and the state is working through the transition from the old bank to the new bank. These procedures have been reviewed with the Finance Committee, and they can speak to their approval or not. The use of the procurement card is a type of a credit card which can be used during an emergency, be used where payment to the vendor is required in advance of the delivery of the goods or the services, or where you have a purchase for a on a computer-to-computer basis, such as through the internet. So we have had instances where these types of things have come up in the past. We've had to either make other arrangements, or the employee has had to use a personal credit card and be reimbursed for those expenses, which is permitted by the state of New Jersey. So with that said, I would recommend that we put these policies and procedures into effect, that we pursue the obtaining a procurement card which would allow these types of purchases. Initially, the card would only be issued to myself for some of the purchases that have been required. As other departments understand the rules and regulations, a department head may seek to obtain a card for their use, and we would have to explain and train them in the use of that card. So it would probably grow, but it would grow slowly, as we got into the policies and the procedures.
Okay. Are you going to let the department heads know now that this is available, and at least send them a summary memorandum that this is available to them? And
once the council passes a resolution, then we would widely distribute it and see if anybody was interested other than myself at this point in time.
Has this gone by the Finance Committee?
Yes.
And the Finance Committee has supported it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So
thank you
that's
for
all your
that.
information, and we'll have a resolution in front of the council and redistribute the policies and procedures in full to everybody.
All right, number two, Alan. River Board of Ed.
Thank you, Mayor. I received some feedback from the Board of Education. There may have been a little confusion, I'm not sure, but when I put the shared service agreement together, and since I did the initial drafting of it, I did include a provision where those entities that would participate in the lightning detection system would participate in the maintenance of that base station going forward. So, speaking with Bobby Conway, our recreation director, said, oh, well, we may have to buy new batteries or something. That cost would be shared by the entities that continue to participate. As the council is aware, we waived the sharing of the cost with the River Edge Board of Education for this base station fee. They've made a request that they be waived from the maintenance of the base station as well. So I'm coming back to you, with that prior to putting a resolution on to allow that waiver to occur if you're so inclined.
I'd make the motion to place the resolution on the waiver of the
Second.
maintenance.
There's a motion and a second for Mr. Negri. Any further discussion on this issue? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, we can put the resolution on.
Thank you.
Okay, continued discussion on ADA doors.
Thank you, Mayor. One aspect of the project which was brought to our attention after we had a vendor on board, the police chief indicated that the door on the public safety building has to have the ability to be secured from the desk. This is necessary in case someone needing the protection of the police department comes in, makes the complaint, requires immediate protection. The dispatcher should have the ability to lock that front door to protect that individual until an officer can arrive on the scene. and take over that function. So with that said, we went back to the installer of the door. We've received a proposal for $2,570 to install the locking devices and all the electrical work that would be required. This would be a change order to the current contract for the door installation. I believe there would be available funding either through an ordinance or our operating budget after November, and it could be done on the basis of a change order, since it's necessary to the protection of the public.
Vito?
Alan, has anyone investigated whether this locking device is fail-safe or fail-secure?
I'm not
In
sure.
other words, when you lose power, what happens to the locking device? Are you able to egress, or does the door stay locked?
I don't have an answer to that. I know we have a
Because
generator that would kick in. I'm not sure what
No,
would happen.
the
in
answer,
the interim.
the answer lies with the code official. It's a matter of compliance with code. In an emergency situation, you always should be able to egress a room. So we should not have a fail-secure lock. We should have a fail-safe. When you lose power, the door is free to swing open and you're free to leave the premises. But please consult with Bob so that we're in compliance. with
I
code.
can do that, yes.
Alan, we haven't had this capability before.
No, we always have had this capability.
So we had, so
before.
this replaces it.
Whether it was fail-safe or fail-secure, I don't know the answer to that previously.
My issue with the proposal by C&M Door was, I think, more the description of the service, because they stated in their proposal that the door would be locked after normal business hours, which I don't think is the case, and I don't think should be the case. I wish the chief was here to just confirm that, because if someone needs to get into the building to get the police help, you don't want them to be hit with a locked door. I understand if they're trying to escape a danger and they enter the vestibule, and then the officer at the dispatcher at the desk can lock the door behind them. That is perfectly understandable. But the way it's in the proposal is that it be locked after normal business hours. So I don't know if that's on a timer or what, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't have that.
No, the door, presently, the door is always open 24/7, 365. I'll check to see, if that's a condition of what they're proposing, but it should not be. The door should be unlocked, and only when necessary should the dispatcher have the ability to lock it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Vito?
Alan, are we be getting a electronic lock set or magnets? A regular lock set, and then you have magnets that still hold the door closed. Because there are two different ways of doing this. So I don't think I saw the proposed,
I'll have to find out.
Please.
What's being proposed.
because there are magnets that you would have to rip the door to force the door open. Just as a Lucktronics makes them. Just a brand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I'll bring this back to the council after I have more information.
Okay. Number 2, 2014 Community Development Block Fund applications.
Just for your information, that we picked up the applications. We have till, I believe, early December to make our decision. They've extended the date from October. So please, start thinking about the application process. I will list it for a work session in October so that you'll have the ability to provide suggestions. We'll circulate what we've done in the past. But the earlier you make a decision, the earlier I'm able to begin the application process and start filling in all the details that are required and getting all the backup information that's necessary.
Alan, maybe you could reach out to the county because they're supposed to reissue their updated maps with the eligible areas based on 2010 census. And they had told me they're supposed to come sometime in 2013. At least we'll know whether we still have the same census tracts available for fiscal improvements, if that's something we want to consider. But they've been very slow in getting these maps updated from the 2010 census, so maybe they have an idea when they think they're going to have those available.
I know from going through the process last year that more money is available for what is called brick and mortar
Yes.
applications than service applications. They've done away with funding for buses and things like that. So we would all be able to get money for the dispatch, the senior dispatcher and the driver, maybe for some score activities. But the way they divide up the pot, the majority of the money is available for brick and mortar applications. Keep that in mind.
And that also includes infrastructure, so
Yeah.
depending on the census areas, we might be able to get sewers repaired or streets repaved if we're within the accepted census tracts.
Okay, number 3. Number 3 is the Old Timers Night and the retirement party for Lieutenant Curran at the Fire Company Number 1. Everybody saw the correspondence in the email, the request from Chief Malley that they want to hold these 2 events in the near future at Company 1. At the same time, they wish to serve alcoholic beverages at these 2 events, and these 2 events only. Right now, under our ordinance, and due to the order of the chief that from last year, no alcohol is presently being served. The ordinance, I think paragraph B of our ordinance, I don't know what number it is, 114-18 or something like that, allows us to pass a resolution naming a specific time and event for which alcohol can be served. I had it put on the resolution agenda for the 8 o'clock meeting and put it on the 7 o'clock meeting for discussion, whether or not we want to adopt the resolution, whether or not we want to change the resolution, whether or not we want to table the resolution. So the floor is open for discussion. Kathleen.
I see that Mr. Mitchell's here now, and I didn't know if maybe you wanted to speak to this. I was just wondering the time. It's 6 to 1 a.m. Do you think that may be too long of a time? With 7 to 12?
The party that we usually
That-
have.
That's a 7-hour open bar.
You make it sound, yes, it's yes.
Well, I think, just my opinion, that 7 hours may be a little too much, but whatever the council wants to do.
Just one question for clarification. Are the parties actually inside, or are they is some of it going to be out here?
It's an inside party.
Okay. Only because the way it was, the resolution talks a lot about open areas and things like that. I was just wondering if it was, I just wanted to make that clear.
And when we, sorry,
Okay.
so when we do a block party resolution, we don't put
Block
hours associated with it, do we?
Block party applications are,
Well, there's some on here now.
I know, but there's no hours, so I think this is being treated equivalent to like a block party.
It is, to me, it is a block party.
it's a different section, block parties.
Oh.
Block parties can actually be done by
Borough clerk.
the borough clerk.
I agree with the mayor. I think 7 hours that's long.
I mean, why don't we just say a 5-hour open bar, or a 4-hour open bar, or something like that?
I think 7 to 12.
7 to
5
12.
hours.
5-hour open bar?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a
so-
compromise.
Any further discussion? So that's, is that a motion to amend it?
Yes, that's a motion to amend.
I'll second that.
Start the party.
All right, so we have a motion to amend the resolution to include, I don't know, a 5-hour open bar. We'll leave it to the discretion of the company, what hours they want to choose between 6 and 1 to have their 5-hour
Right.
open bar. And there's a second?
I second it, yes.
All right, any further discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Percy?
Yes.
Councilman Echo-Freda?
Yes.
Councilman Paula?
Yes.
Councilman Biondi?
Yes.
Councilman Baldwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pataglia?
Yes. Okay, good. All right, well, it'll be on the consent agenda list for the 8 o'clock meeting. Next is work session consent agenda. Waive a portion of the police outside duty fee for the Let It Grow benefit, which was held on September 7th. What is this?
Mayor, an appeal is being made by Let It Grow since their proceeds are going to be a donation to a child who suffers from a disease, and they're asking that just the overtime portion basically be charged and not the administrative, which we've done in the past in other instances.
I would make that motion.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, thank you. Unfinished business. Capital list, Grove Street, any,
What about new business?
we didn't get to new business
Okay,
yet.
sorry.
New business is after unfinished business.
Okay.
Grove Street. I spoke to Mr. Costa again. I told him we needed a meet and bounds description. Has he contacted you, Alan, or mentioned anything to you?
The borough attorney and I both met with Rob, explained the importance of it to him. We were the three of us were at a meeting, hopefully he's following up on that. My thanks to Judy O'Connell, the deputy borough clerk. She created the stickers for that. They're all ready to go. We have the wall hangers. We made inquiry to the police chief as to whether the signage has been ordered. He followed up on that. So we'll send another reminder. In fact, I'll see Mr. Costa tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning at the sewer subcommittee, and I'll put it on my list of reminders.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Please remember, though, that what I needed from him was a proposal as to how much this will cost, and then I can issue a purchase order, or we can get a contract to do the work, and get that underway. That's really the next step, is to get the cost figure.
He just has to
proceed.
He just has to give us a cost on conducting a survey and doing a deed description, right?
Exactly, right. So I'll give him the reminder tomorrow morning.
Bus shelters.
We've had 2 installed, Mayor. The remaining shelters, I was told by the installer out in the field, another 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll be back to him early October if we don't see the remaining shelters installed.
Okay. HVAC. Anything to report on that?
Judy, we have a meeting scheduled on that? We set up, yes, October 2nd at 10:30. We have a meeting with the architect and the departments that will be impacted by the move, to try and come up with a plan of transition and action.
Okay. Kathleen.
I wanted to ask what the status is of Voorhees. I know we had allocated some money toward cleaning that drain, and they recently just experienced another massive flooding from the storm. So it's not something I think we can wait any longer to...
Mayor, it's on the agenda for the sewer subcommittee tomorrow morning. We have quotations from several vendors. The question has come up as to whether we can truck the debris that comes out of the pipe to Bergen County Utilities Authority, possibly save some money, and if we don't do it, do we have enough money in the appropriation? The debris would have to be dewatered. I don't know whether we have the ability to do that. This will all be discussed tomorrow morning at the sewer subcommittee. Hopefully, the committee will be able to provide some direction as to who's going to do what and whether we can go ahead right away with it. But we do have several quotations from from the companies, on this.
But doesn't the company that cleans the line have to remove the
Yes,
disposal
that
debris?
we can work it that way. That's
Okay.
one of the options, not to have DPW do it if they don't have the staff resources. My question for the committee will be, do we have enough money appropriated then to truck this? Was that anticipated by the engineer's office that obtained these quotations for us? I'm hoping that it was included. So we have to get these details nailed down so that we can, and if we do, then we can give the go-ahead to get the purchase order issued and get this accomplished.
I mean, the people just can't keep waiting for, the trucking thing. How much stuff could there possibly be to truck?
There's a lot.
There is a lot? Like an 18-wheeler amount?
I don't know, you're talking about tons of material that are going to come out of that pipe when they're done. So it's going to be, to Alan's point, I shouldn't say I assume, but usually when you get a quote like that, you would assume that the hauling would have been included, because they would have had to put an exclusion otherwise. But like I said, we'll have to clarify that with Mr. Costa, because I don't know, he got the original quotes, so I don't know what was included and what wasn't included.
We just, the people, every time something's happening, this past one, they had to drive all their cars up the road. One car, again, was left there and got damaged. I mean, it's just...
But unfortunately, this will not prevent those situations. Even cleaning it, it's just going to alleviate the bad condition quicker.
Well, that's what they
Mr. Costa
want.
told
I
us.
mean,
But you're still going to have a rush of water. So in the event that car still would have been damaged,
Yeah, well, now they're they're prepared for that, but, they don't want their basements flooded, and, however we can remediate this as quickly as possible, besides,
But we keep saying remediate, we're not remediating, we're
Well,
making it
whatever we
better.
can do
So
to
be careful with the
alleviate-
language we use, because
alleviate.
it's not fixing it.
No, just alleviate then, to lessen the chances of flooding. And, they just can't keep waiting and waiting. They want an answer.
Whatever it is, we haven't done everything that we need to do to try to fix the problem.
As quickly
If
as
the cleaning of the pipe, which is the least restrictive alternative, doesn't work, then we'll have to come up with another plan. But we had an emergency appropriation because we had, what is it, this is the third flood, or the third or the fourth flood there? Where we have in excess of 3 feet of water. And it becomes a lake, and then I heard about it. I went 45 minutes later, and it was dry as a bone.
Mhm.
That's how quick it recedes after the rain stops. So it's simply the fact that there's not enough capacity in the line because of the debris. Then it would be an easy fix. We'll keep our fingers crossed and our toes crossed and get the line cleaned and see what happens. Okay. Any other unfinished business?
Yeah, I guess I'll put this under old business. In last year's budget, we had appropriated some money to purchase some pedestrian countdown timers. We talked about that. And after Anthony last meeting had mentioned he had a resident concerned about the crossing over at Midland and at Kinderkamack, I happened to see the county engineer, because what he had said to me initially when we started all this, he says, if we buy the units, the county will put them in. And I had asked him several months ago to do a survey to get us the number of units and how much it was going to cost, because these units are apparently available through state contract, which means we can purchase them directly and not have to go through an RFP process. So I did ask him again last week when I saw him if he could at least go to Midland and Kinderkamack and get those size for us, because we do have immediate concern here. And I think if you did put the countdown timers, it would give people a little more comfort knowing you got 20 seconds across the street or 15 seconds. At least it would be one step improved over not having a crossing guard there. So I guess what I'm long-winded way of saying is maybe Alan could follow up with the county engineer's office to see if they've done that, and if they have, I'm assuming since we've already appropriated it, you'd be able to make that purchase off the state contract without having to do a resolution and all that, correct?
Yeah, I believe we have money in capital, and we just haven't accessed it yet, so I'll follow up with the police chief, or Public Works, and we'll buy it, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, but
We
I
would
asked
buy them.
Gary Escalese, he had to tell us, because there's two different sizes, and I said, we need the ones that are going to accommodate the existing housing. So Gary Escalese was supposed to get us that information, so you may want to reach out to him and see if he can get it, and then we can order them and get, because installing them, it literally takes a couple of hours. It's not a big issue to get them installed.
I have one other question. A while back, Mr. Costa came in and talked about the jug handle by Steuben Arms. Is there any kind of, that whole area down there with the stop signs and any movement on that, or?
No, that's,
No, haven't heard anything.
that's the county.
And maybe I'm following that up, Alan, is it, because we did meet with the county, the mayor, remember we had met with them about that, and also with the Route 4 Main Street connection, maybe write a letter to the county engineer's office or to Debbie Hurt, DOT, and ask if there's been any progress on addressing those situations.
I did speak to, had a chance to speak to Mr. Femia, who seemed to give me some indication that although although the engineer can't justify reducing the speed limit to 25 on Kinderkamek Road due to the statistics when they did their traffic study, they may be able to reduce it from 35 to 30.
That'd be great.
Which would be progress. So I'm going to follow up on that and see if I could actually get that in writing. Thanks for mentioning that. Any other unfinished business? Ed?
Just what's our schedule with Mr. Smart? Was he supposed to come in September, or what was the...
I actually contacted him. He'll have a report, he said, by the end of September. So he said he's talked to the borough staff.
I could report on that.
Okay, all right.
Alan and I met with Mr. Smart today, and Mr. Smart is preparing his report. He also indicates that he wants to schedule a public meeting with the business owners and commercial property owners that he has identified. He thinks that the list is about 250 either business owners or property owners. So he spoke to Al and I about a possible venue. I told him that I thought maybe the Newbridge Center would be a decent venue for something like that. At the meeting, he would it would basically just be the purpose of the meeting would be to get information from the business community and the property owners as to what they would like to see a business improvement district do. To take, instead of indicating to them, you know, we're going to take your money and this is what we're going to do, it would be more like, what would you like to see? What kind of business improvements would you like to see? And then to judge the temperature based upon that, to see if it's enthusiastically supported, whether or not it's lukewarm, whether or not everybody's against it, and then to decide what the next move would be. So he's put together the list. I think we picked a date of either November 6th or November 7th. We have to print up postcards and mail them out to everybody. And of course everybody's invited. And we'll hear what the business community has to say at that time. Okay? That's what I can report on Mr. Smart. Any other unfinished business? Okay, let's go into new business. Any new business? Kathleen?
In our correspondence we got, there was a resolution that New Milford had done at their council meeting against the United Water rate hike, and I'd like for our governing body to consider that as well.
Is that a motion?
I'm making a motion. I don't know if everyone had a chance to read it.
Did everybody see that in the correspondence?
Yes.
I think what are they proposing, like a 30% increase or something like that? 18? Okay.
Yes.
Is there anyone who would like to second that motion to put a formal resolution on the...
I would second
on the agenda? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I guess let's take a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Echols?
Yes.
Councilman Paul?
Yes.
Councilman Young.
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni.
Yes.
Councilman Capelli.
Yes. Okay. Alan, we could prepare the resolution, put it on the agenda for adoption. Any other new business?
Just one item. Maybe Ed can bring this to the chief's attention, or we'll discuss it in October at the traffic and safety meeting. But I've noticed on Oak Avenue between Continental and Wales, part of that was recently paved, and there's no, as Ed would say, friction on the one side of the street because it abuts the school playground. So there's no cars generally there, and I've noticed a significant amount of speeding in that area, where you'll see usually younger drivers. You can hear them revving through their gears as they make the turn, and some are going in excess of 60 miles an hour down the street.
On Oak Avenue?
Yeah, because it's perfectly paved, it's perfectly smooth, and there's nothing on the one side, but that area has a significant amount of children.
Yeah.
So if we could maybe have the chief do a traffic study there, put the strips, it's typically, very early in the morning, or, after school gets out and all the parents are gone, but it's been significant.
Okay, Alan, could you please mention that to the
Yeah, I'll send
chief?
a memo to the chief.
Any other new business? Ed?
Alan has been mentioned. I attended the meeting last week. Alan and the chief attended with State DOT at Bergen County regarding the proposed reconstruction of the Route 4 overpass over the Hackensack River. And this is their initial steps of what they call their stakeholder survey portion before they go into actual design. They're actually not even doing alternatives analysis yet. And basically, this was just the first notification that they're planning this massive project, probably for construction, I believe in, 2016, 2017 timeframe. And while they were very interested in getting, surveys out to people with regard to bicycle riding and walkers and all that stuff, they didn't answer Alan's main issue, was how are they going to mitigate the traffic impact if and when they construct this bridge. But it's just something that we all need to be aware of, that they're planning on doing this, and despite them saying that it's a long-term schedule, to me that they're really trying to hurry up this stakeholder participation process, because they want us to have surveys out by the end of September and results back by October, and that's really not enough time for us to notify anybody. And I think from people in this town, people who are either commuters who drive or who take the buses or whatever, they're going to be very concerned about how this is going to impact them. And the chief was very concerned about how road closures and delays are going to impact our local streets with people cutting through and whatnot. So again, it's just something to be aware of, and I believe they're having an information session in October. Alan has the information, I guess you can copy it for everybody. But this is just one of 3 or 4 long-term, basically the way you describe it, they'll be doing construction on Route 4 probably for the rest of the century, because they're talking about doing the Hackensack Bridge, then they have to do the railroad bridge in Teaneck. They're talking about widening under the overpass where the Greenway is in Teaneck. They're working on the Jones Road overpass now. They're doing a culvert in Englewood right now, and all these projects are going to be sequential. Wow. So so it's going to have a big impact on River Edge in particular, and just I guess something to be aware of. And we'll maybe go on record as, at one point, voicing our concerns, so we make sure that our concerns are addressed when they, like Alan said, it's easy to do it during this planning process than after they decide they're going to start construction, and we don't know where you're going to reroute 100,000 cars a day which go over that bridge, according to their latest traffic count.
Wow.
It's a few cars.
Any other new business? Alan, when I was downstairs in the lobby with Mr. Carroll, we looked up at the new top above the ADA doors and saw that there's a ceiling tile there that has some what looks to be staining or mold on it. if you could have that checked out. I don't know if it's illegal or what. Okay, can I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're open to the public. Anyone wishing to address the council may do so by giving us your name and address and ask a question or make any comment or statement. Can I have a motion to close the work session open hearing to the
So
public?
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn the work session?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're over for the public meeting, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let's go right into the public meeting. If everyone could please stand for a moment of silent prayer or reflection. If Councilman Aquafredo could lead us in the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the mayor and council of the borough of River Edge have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having a date, time, and place posted in the borough hall, and notices were sent in December of 2012 to the Record and the Ridgewood News. The mission of the governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy, safeguarding the infrastructure, providing honest, courteous, professional services, establishing a sense of trust and accomplishment with our residents. We do this through research and prudent planning, seeking to minimize risk while improving municipal services. In doing so, we are sensitive to the needs of the taxpayer while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people due to revenue constraints that are imposed by state mandates, economic conditions and prevailing attitudes about taxation. We're on the record, both video and audio. We have 3 exits in council chambers, 2 to the front and 1 to the rear during the public portion of the meeting. Should you wish to make a comment, please give us your name and address, and we'll take your question or listen to your comment. Can I have a roll call, please?
Here.
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 Here. Here. All right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the special session of the mayor and council of August 26, 2013?
Abstained.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have 1 abstention, Judy. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the mayor and council for the work session and the regular meeting of September the 3rd, 2013?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We don't have any proclamation or awards this evening. We have a personnel change to approve the salary increase of Emma Huns, the tax collector clerk, from a step 1 to a step 2, effective October 2nd, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. On your agenda, there is correspondence, which is listed, letters and notices that are available for review, to be read, to be copied through our municipal clerk's office. In addition, there are monthly reports that are on file for the library board, the report of our auditor for the year 2012, and the August 2013 report of our tax collector. We have liaison reports this evening, beginning with Councilwoman Murphy, DPW Shade Tree Commission, Library Senior Citizen Co-Liaison, New Milford River Edge Shared Services, and Oradell River Edge Shared Services. Kathleen.
Thank you, Mayor. What I'm going to report on tonight is just that the Shade Tree Commission was granted a $20,000 grant for trees, and I have not gone to any other meetings thus far.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Aquafreda, beautification, ad hoc zoning, River Edge, and Riverdale school system.
Thank you, Mayor. The River Edge School System will hold a meeting next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, which I plan to attend, so I'll report on that. With regards to the Riverdale School System, I've asked the superintendent to provide me with an update on the status of the ongoing negotiations with the teachers and with the administrators of the school. There are two separate negotiations that have been going on for a few months. And I was not able to attend the beautification committee meeting, which was held last week. That concludes the report.
The front of Borough Hall looks beautiful.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
They're working hard on
Really,
it.
Nice,
really beautiful.
nice
Really.
choice of
Belongs in a
colors.
magazine. So nice.
Nice choice of colors.
Councilman Capola, construction code, property maintenance, senior citizen co-liaison, and the historic commission.
Senior citizens tomorrow, 10 to 2, Vance on Park, big shindig for our senior residents. I'll be there, and that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Councilman Mignon, Police Department, Environmental Protection Commission, Green Team, Planning Board, New Milford River Edge Shared Services.
Green Team, we're having our first post-summer meeting tomorrow night, so nothing to report on that. And the Planning Board also, there's no meeting for September due to lack of agenda.
Thank you. Councilman Bartoloni, Rec Commission, Traffic and Safety, Special Events, Technology Committee, Oradell Shared Services.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report with regards to the Recreation Commission. Special events, River Edge Day is October 6th. The rain date is October 13th. It's from 1 to 4. There'll be various organizations, obviously, throughout the town. If you know any business in town, maybe that's new to town, wants to participate, there's a raffle. They can participate in that raffle. It's a good way for them to show off their business. Also, if they want to have a tent or something like that, that's free. They just have to submit the application to Bobby Conway. And that's all I have, Mayor. Oh, but with respect to beautification, not to knock anybody else, but at 1 o'clock on Sunday, the only person I saw out there was Michelle Coretti.
Michelle Coretti.
I mean, she is dedicated.
Yep.
That's the only person I saw out there. They may have been there before, they may have been there after.
No.
But she is, if there's one person you really got to give a lot of the credit to, it would absolutely be her, because she was out there like crazy. So.
Wow. Councilman Papaleo, Fire Prevention, River Edge Alliance Against Alcohol and Drugs.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been in contact with Alan Silverman, our fire prevention official. He reports that there is no unusual events occurring other than his regular quarterly report. He did mention that he was going to be down at St. Peter's and to do all the inspections. He's looking forward to a great carnival at St. Peter's, and he wanted us to know that he was taking direct action with that. Also, the fire department and fire prevention will be active with the River Edge Day. We'll have firefighters down there as part of the day, allowing residents to see the equipment, and they normally have a hose. They're also attempting to get a fire trailer. This is a trailer that would be using Hollywood-style smoke and in a trailer, and allow our residents to go in and see what it's like for firefighters when they enter a smoke room. There is all sorts of simulation, like heat on a door, and they can provide some limited training for residents who would want to know if there was a fire at home. How do you deal with it? How do you move through your home when you're trying to evacuate? It's a great thing, and they're trying to get it from the county, and I think they will be able to do that. The firefighters are also going to be celebrating past Chief Corinne, Lieutenant Corin as he retires, and that will mention that we talked about that in the resolution. And Old Timers Nights, which is a unique thing to River Edge. Not many firefighting companies do this, where they invite back the old timers, and they have a night to celebrate and to remember them. The River Edge Alliance Against Drug and Alcohol summer was quiet for the Alliance, but they did offer a community yoga class and lunch at the River Edge Library. The fall is busy having their annual Drug Awareness Week in October. Reed is funding programs at both Roosevelt and Cherry Hill schools, as well as one at the middle school. There will be a table set up on River Edge Day, and Shion Kim from our local CVS, she's our pharmacist, head pharmacist, I believe, will be there to hand out goodies and talk to the residents, and if necessary, do blood testing and consultation with drug use. The Alliance is also looking into funding some of the mayor's wellness campaign, and I think they're doing a great job, as well as the firefighters and our fire prevention. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Two reports. One is I have a report from the River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service. Through August of this year, the River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service has responded to 398 calls. There are currently 2 members that are attending the new EMS class at the Academy. Andy the Ambulance is coming to River Edge Day. Andy the Ambulance is a talking ambulance, and children will be able to interact with Andy through one of the members who will have a microphone. Maybe I shouldn't have given that away. Our duty crew...
You ruined it for me, man.
The duty crew, along with the rig, was present throughout the Stark Newbridge Landing Wine Festival. Their presence there was much appreciated, and they will also have a standing duty crew and an ambulance at the carnival to be held at St. Peter's. Respectfully submitted from Captain Donna Sanders. The River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service is a great organization. If any members of the public wish to get involved, they need only to contact Captain Sanders. In addition to that, the Mayor's Wellness Campaign has taken on a life of its own these days with the help of many volunteers, including Councilwoman Murphy and Neve
Van
Means from the ambulance service. We're having a Biggest Loser contest. We're having a weigh-in. The contest starts September 27th. We're having a Friday night boot camp from 7 to 9 at the Cherry Hill Newbridge Center. We're having something in the park, right?
Boot camp.
Boot camp in the park. We are having
October 5th.
Nutrition. We're having walks. We're having a pack walk with your dog. We're having other walks without your dog.
Walk with your wife.
Right. We have a donation of so far $500 towards the Biggest Loser contest, courtesy of Anita De Silva, the local State Farm insurance agent.
And Cooking with the Mayor.
And we are getting ready for Cooking with the Mayor, which will be a program where I will go to local restaurants and see if I could talk them into letting me use their kitchen to prepare a heart-healthy meal, which will go on the menu in addition to the regular menu selections. More information can be obtained from visiting the Facebook page, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? River Edge...
It's River Edge Health and Wellness Campaign.
Health and Wellness Campaign on Facebook. There are no ordinances on for first reading this evening. There are no ordinances on for second reading. There are resolutions by consent 13-327. Alan?
Mayor, just one point on Resolution 13-332. This is a resolution for certification of the annual audit. There is a group affidavit form which the state of New Jersey requires that the mayor and council sign. So I will start that at one end of the table and pass it around so that we can file this form along with the resolution with the state of New Jersey.
Okay. Resolutions 13-327 up to 13-349. Then we will have payment of the bills. Does any member of the council wish to pull out for separate consideration, discussion, or adoption any of the resolutions on the consent agenda? Kathleen Murphy, your hand is up.
13-328 for discussion.
13-328. Okay. Do you need an explanation, or?
I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
It's my understanding that some of the fire trucks are in need of repair and maintenance, and we're going to cancel some of these monies that would seem to go toward that. So, is there a reason why we can't put this toward the current repairs?
Yes, because these are liabilities from several years ago. These were orders that were placed several years ago, and unless that repair is going to be done for what was ordered several years ago, it can't be for a new repair. So these are old liabilities that we kept open until it could be determined whether those services were going to be provided and we would owe this money. So we have spoken with the fire chief for anything that pertains to the fire department and so on.
Like the Ruscon Truck Service, isn't that one of the repair companies we use for the fire
Maybe,
trucks?
but it was ordered at the time for a specific item and can no longer be used as sort of a
Okay.
blanket repair purchase order.
Okay, that's it for me.
Any other questions regarding items on the consent agenda? Can I have a resolution by consent for resolutions 13-327 up to and including 13-349?
345, that was with the changes of
As
5 hours.
modified.
That's amended.
As amended. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I didn't hear everybody's
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstained? All right, Councilman Mignon, 13-350, payment of the bills.
Yes, Mayor. Whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee. Now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $195,162.15. Capital account, $131,590.35. Recreation account, $2,095.94. Trust other account, $8,163.40. Open space account, $15,667.35. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. Can I have a motion to open the hearing to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the meeting is open to the public for any member of the audience to address the mayor and council on any issue affecting their interest. Come on, I'm not closing until I get one comment from somebody.
Neil Carroll.
Neil?
A good job, a bad job, we stink. Come on, somebody has to make a comment.
You've been here too long.
All right, can you get up and give us your name and address? No?
I move that we close to the open session.
All right. There's a
Second.
motion to close, there's a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you.
Tough crowd.
All right, any council comments? Kathleen?
I have a few comments. First, I'd like to offer my condolences to Miss Albercio and her family on the recent loss of her father. It was kind of unexpected, so our condolences to her. I would like to thank the beautification. I saw them Saturday morning with the Boy Scouts, Michelle, and a few other people, and they were doing a fantastic job of sprucing up Borough Hall. I did have a small 9/11 ceremony in front of our World Trade Center steel. It was only attended by 5 other people, but, you know, we felt the need to have to recognize 9/11 12 years later. I would like to welcome back Neil Carroll to the council chambers. We've missed him for quite a while. Hopefully Denise is on the mend. And St. Peter's Carnival is coming up, and I hope they have great success. That's it.
Thank you. Vito?
No comment.
Anthony?
No comment.
Edward?
Nothing, Mayor.
Alphonse?
I'm good, Mayor.
No comment.
Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.